Welcome back to the Acura pre-race show. Now, each Grand Prix team has a group of people who stay behind on race weekends in order to analyze data at the shop. Peter Windsor spent some time with some of the guys at Jordan.
Lots of engineers and mechanics in the Jordan Honda garage this weekend. Big weekend for Jordan Honda, of course, with that Sato announcement. But back in England at the Jordan factory, even more people and a car are helping to sort their performance this weekend. Let's take a look inside the 7-post test rig, high security, and guess what? The flash card works. Well, we're in the maximum security 7-post test rig area of the Jordan Grand Prix factory. Harry, Friday practice has taken place. They've got data from the cars.
Yeah.
Now, what happens here? What do they do? Why, first of all, do you need to have a facility like this in England when you've got everybody, it seems like everybody running in Japan?
Well, obviously you've got limited time on the racetrack, so instead of, well, we need this rig basically to extend the time that we can sort of simulate things. So we use this rig, and we also use simulations on our HP computers to sort of improve our understanding of, of the problems.
And how do you get that information? What information do you get back, and how do you get it back?
Well, they send it by email basically, because we're all networked up to Japan, so it's very easy, the same as if they were here.
And the rig, which is a 7-post rig, 4 for each wheel, and then what, 3?
3 for the 3 underneath the car to sort of pull the car down to simulate the downforce and the roll and the pitch of the car.
And so you then program in what the car's been running in terms of aerodynamics, what you think the tyres are doing in terms of grip level and fuel level.
Yeah, that's right.
And you can actually simulate that lap and then make changes to the car and see what happens.
Yeah, once we've got the sort of lap, we then change the car maybe 40 times, and then we collate all that data and come to some conclusion and send it back to the race team.
And how many sensors would you have on this?
On this car, there's only about 24 on this car, because it was only looking at specific things.
When you say only, what could it be?
Well, I mean, at the racetrack, obviously, they've got, I don't know, 100 or whatever sensors, because they're looking at all the different other things like engine and gearbox and clutch and things like that.
That's a lot of information flying around the world, not only with your team, but other teams as well. I mean, are you guys all quite security conscious about that?
Not particularly. We've got one of our sponsors, Imation, helping us out in that department.
Oh, that's very convenient.
Yeah, well, they do all the backup. We use Imation software to do all the backups, so we don't really have to worry about that side.
Well, let's hope not. Thank you very much.
No problem.
So there you have it. If the Jordan Hondas have had any problems in qualifying at Suzuka, this car here and these guys here will have played a major role in solving those problems. And by the way, that is a dummy in the test rig there.
Well, that's a pretty sophisticated piece of equipment. All the top teams have something similar to that, either a 5-post or a 7-post rig. Basically, the way this system works is exactly the same as the active suspension used to work in the 90s. It's the 93 system. All you've got is sort of bigger versions of those hydraulic rams, but all that telemetry system can simulate a lap. The ones underneath will pull the car down, exactly as was described in the piece, to simulate downforce, but all that is put in through electronics, through the software. The great skill of the thing is, of course, you can revalve and valve dampers, say a 15-lap run, 20-lap run. If the dampers start to go off when they get too hot through friction in the fluid, the engineers can take them off in the R&D department, revalve them, research and development that is, put different shims in, put them back on the car, try it again. Excellent piece of equipment and horrendously expensive, Sam.